You can do time lapse.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you want to use my gorilla pod for the arrows?
No, sorry, dude.
It's going to be a balance.
Yeah.
I think I just
Yeah. It's good, huh? Yeah.
it's quite a bit long ago.
Good.
I've already in my mind taped it up and put a chair over it.
Yeah, that's same. And then I'm seeing you climb over the chair to go out and speak to people like this.
Fall over the chair.
Yeah, the safety
that's like,
thing.
That's like pulling things to fix things. That
Yes.
just doesn't fix it.
Exactly. Keynote starting shortly. You guys going to be down there and standing here. There's no one to see. Wi-Fi?
Yeah. I can't give it to the attendees.
Yeah, I know. Max out.
Where's everyone else?
SharePoint Johannesburg, you're live to YouTube right now. Say hello. All right.
Brendan. Where is Brendan? Brenda. Is someone called Brenda? That was close.
You see it on the video, they've blocked it out, so you just see my lips.
We're just looking for Brenda. She's a bit of a Barbie. Did you find Brenda? Brenda, thank you for joining us.
Live.
Brenda.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Suits me better.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me? Do I have to start? Welcome to SharePoint Saturday, Johannesburg. I know there's a few people in the room that have been asking why we didn't have one last year. A few reasons. One, we were all too busy. We didn't know how long Brandon was going to take to comb his hair. And, we also waited for the data centers to be launched in South Africa. So who's excited about the data centers? Just some updates on that. The first bit has been deployed. So we've got Azure and in about, Microsoft in the corner, probably want to. We're probably going to get Office 365 in about 2 to 3 months. Yeah. About 90 days. That's the typical sort of structure when it comes to the rollout. Everything runs on top of that. I've got the 3 of them in front so that you know who your organizers are. They've been working hard for the last 6 hours because that's the total sum of time it's taken.
Except for Tracy.
Except for Tracy.
Did every 3 months.
So just a round of applause for the people that have made it today. There's a couple of house rules. If my clicker works, yes, there it does. The sessions you can find on the SBS Events app, or the site as well. On the doors outside, there are schedules on that. There's nothing in the bags. No, there's nothing on the bags. So check the doors when you actually want to go find out what's happening on the doors.
There are schedules in the front. There's separate flyers that they can collect from
All right.
the.
So just the layout of where everything is for those that haven't been here. This is 3 auditoriums. All right. When you leave, we're going to pull the doors, the banners, or whatever they call them, close, and that's going to be auditorium 1, 2, and 3, I think.
I think it's 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. You see that geode banner? Wow.
Like those jeans.
Well, let me stop
Added
that.
back into my life today.
You secretly want them.
I do.
On the other side, as you came in, there was the main
Reception.
on the left of that. You get to conference room
4 and 5.
4 and 5, or 3 and 4.
Thank you, Brenda.
Is on that side. So there are sessions on that side. So don't get lost. Walk around the front, yes, all the way down the plastic plate to the left, and there's the other 2 sessions. I've got a session at the end of the day. And you're obviously here for a reason. The what? Okay, so everyone's here for a reason. Who wants caps? Do you want to throw out? So throw that way. No. Sam, you're not allowed, you've got. There's people in that corner. One more. Over here. And one that side. And if you want the rest of the prizes, you've got to stick around. And we're taking photos at every sponsor stand, and if you win the prize and you don't have a photo with the sponsor, you forfeit the prize. All right. So please have a chat to our sponsors. Also, there's some other prizes running for other things. We want you to take a selfie. Everyone knows how to take a selfie. You might put out the
Just check us to space and stages, yeah.
All right. So take a selfie with the speaker, stick it on Twitter, use the hashtag SBSJP, and we'll have a conversation at the end of the day to see who's won. Someone's giving away a prize.
We're giving away a JBL waterproof speaker.
Who's we?
Have points. So you can bark with it, shower with it, listen to the children.
And also, most tweets on the day will win another prize from another sponsor that's not Have Point.
Anyone else?
You know?
No.
We're making this up as we go, so we'll figure it out.
There are prizes from sponsors. Please go around. They might have a draw on their tables. And have a look at that. And coming to our sponsors, we'd just like to thank them because those 3 caps that you jumped at right now is paid for by sponsors. We don't have sponsors. You don't get fed. You don't get the venue. None of that.
T-shirt, bag.
Does everyone get a t-shirt?
Yes.
You, obviously, the South Africans in the room understand what this is.
What is it? Landmark, baby.
And just a great thanks to SkySync and AppPoint, Mint, First Digital, Redcall, Let's Collaborate, Verb Digital, and Cisco for giving us money so that we can spend it on you. Because that's how it works. Can I get them? So those are the ones that have really played part in our journey for the longest time. But the one that you just take for granted is Microsoft. And trust me, those sponsors combined, it actually costs more to have today in this venue than what we normally get from our sponsors. So just a big Round of applause for Microsoft. Also, you'll get fed today, which you have to thank Microsoft.
Is there any biltong? Is there any biltong?
You need to deliver it. All right, so you can leave now. Thank you.
Thanks. Just like that, eh?
Well, you
How far is that?
Thanks, Brenda.
All right, so the reason why we're all here, I think it's important to just talk a little bit about it, is it's about community. Learning through sharing. You see that motto, that ethos carried throughout the day about being able to share what you know and learn what you share.
Photo, hashtag community. Come on, people. Miss us, everyone. Twitter.
And something that's always been dear to me is the term of Ubuntu. I am who I am because of who we all are. And we drive that messaging through community because it's about helping community grow. And without our amazing speakers today, we wouldn't have an opportunity to learn from the people that do this on a daily basis. And if you're looking for the speakers,
Make them stand. Come on, speakers.
Not
Is there any
everyone's
speakers
here.
in the room?
Here we go.
Come on.
And if you need to find them, most of them are wearing the blue version of this green one. We don't force them to wear it because some people don't like it. But yeah, I have an eye on the people that's not wearing it.
Oh, come on.
All right, moving along. What else do we have to do? And then, let's see if this works from a button.
Who knows who this is?
Anyone?
You should know who this is. If you don't, you better figure out who this is. She'll introduce herself, so that's okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Kara Wanagatima with Microsoft Teams Engineering, and thank you to Tracy for asking me to give you this virtual welcome to your events. I'm so excited that South Africa is having such a great series of events that will help you understand more about Microsoft 365 and all the productivity tools that exist. You know we're excited about Microsoft Teams and it creating the hub for teamwork in Office 365, but there's so much to learn across SharePoint and Flow and Power Apps. I encourage you to continue to deepen your knowledge in your particular area of expertise, but go learn one new thing. Take one of the sessions that you might not normally take. And what's even better when you do that is you'll meet new people. Community is the most important part of these sorts of events. There's so many fun people that I am lucky to call friends, like Tracy and Alistair and others, who are really trying to lead all of us to better, more productive employee experiences. And when the event is over, make sure you join us out on the Microsoft Technical Community. That's the center of gravity for where you can continue to ask questions and interact with people like me from the product groups. I run the Driving Adoption Forum, and we're always happy to have people there asking questions about how your organizations can get more from Microsoft Teams and all the other productivity tools that are incorporated in Office 365. We're really doing so much innovation in this space. We're just really grateful to have a community like yours all across South Africa that's doing great work. So thanks again for spending your time with us, and I hope you have a great event.
It does actually play from the clicker. So today, Tracy and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Microsoft 365. I mean, it's real in South Africa. Does everyone understand the difference between Microsoft 365 and Office 365? Okay.
Tell us more. We'll give you that gift voucher later, Heather.
Okay. So everyone knows what Office 365 is, right? Yes? So Microsoft 365 is an extension of Office 365. What it does allow you to do, what it enables you to do is provides you with a desktop license and Windows 10. It's part of that license model. So everyone knows that you can buy a license online for Office 365. So it's either the Business Essentials, which is the small business stuff, or you're buying an E-license, an E1, an E3, or an E5. With Microsoft 365, you actually bundle the E1, E3, E5 with a Windows license, so your desktop is covered, as well as Enterprise Mobility Plus Security. And in true Microsoft fashion, they went from EMS to EM Pluses, and now it's back to EMS. So you get a full end-to-end management solution for the tooling that you're using on your desktop. And that's what M365 is. And it's really about bringing together the siloed Azure and Office platforms so that it's seen as one when working with a tool set. All right. So now that everyone knows what that is, we're going to take you through some scenarios, some examples, things that we believe when you move to the cloud, or wherever you are in your journey to the cloud, you need to take into consideration. And it's just some tool tips, top tips. I don't know what to call
Ideas.
it. Weapons.
Opinions.
Tracy calls it weapons because she beats up end users that don't listen.
As one should.
So I'm going to hand over to her and she's going to take you through the first part.
Thanks, Al. So thank you so much for everyone being here. I really, really think it's amazing. We've got such a great turnout. I think everyone can hear me right? Okay. So really, really thanks for taking the day. There's always people that doesn't come to SharePoint Saturdays because they're like, it's on a Saturday. And I'm like, what is the problem with that? Okay, so thanks for the sacrifice, thanks for being here, thanks for sharing with us, thanks for being part of the community because like Alistair said, sponsors are important. Of course, without Microsoft this isn't possible. The speakers are great, but I can promise you one thing, you're the most important thing to us. I mean, this is why we do it at the end of the day, not to like run around crazy for a couple of months and arrange things, but for you guys to actually to make things better for you and to help you and to be mentors and helping each other and learning through sharing. So thank you so much, everyone. I think a round of applause to everyone here. I really, really appreciate you being here. And please do not be afraid to go up to speakers that you don't know. We sometimes think, oh, you know, I'm too shy, or you know, maybe you've read their blogs online for a long time, you're too shy to meet them. Please don't. Please come up to everyone. Please chat. Please meet us. Follow us on Twitter. Share ideas with us, because that's how we build community. And that's exactly what Ubuntu is. I am who I am because of who we all are. We're amazing because we're all together and we're all amazing. So thank you so much for that. The 10 weapons, so mine's not so much weapons, but it's very important things, and I just want to leave with you. So I'm not going to go into crazy detail here. Alistair's also got a couple of things he wants to share. But it's so easy for us to buy a product and think it's going to fix a problem. So for me, it's very important that you realize that that's not always just that. You just don't switch on the license and then all your problems are solved, because maybe we think that's how it works. So I just want to tell you, and I'm not going to go into detail, I've written a lot of articles about this, and maybe some of you have been in sessions with me, or, you know, like Alistair says, I beat people up, you know, but, you know, you've got to make it fun, you know, okay? I mean, you've got to enjoy your job, so. But I want you to remember that I can tell you that digital literacy is going to be your greatest barrier to user adoption. People aren't scared of the cloud, I can promise you that. They're scared of their own computers. If you don't believe me, go read some of the articles or the videos that we've done or webinars that we've done. Digital literacy is a huge, huge problem. So please make a mental note to look at those type of things. You need to go back and address this in your company. I mean, that's unbelievably important for me. It's not something we've ever fixed. It's not a new problem. We don't suddenly have a digital literacy problem since we have cloud technologies. People, we've always had it, but we've never addressed it because we assume that everyone knows everything, don't we? If you're sitting in this room at this moment, it already means that you're at the top level of the food chain when it comes to IT skills and capabilities. Those are the type of people that come to conferences, that are curious and that are self-learners. But you don't quite represent the whole audience, do you? You don't represent fully your company, because there's about 90 or 95% of the people out there that's not here, that aren't self-learners and curious and wants to help themselves. We really have to put effort into making sure that they can catch up as well. So please take note that digital literacy, and digital literacy is PC literacy and a lot of other cool stuff, okay? I've written lots about it. I'll share some articles after the conference if you want to know more. So digital literacy, greatest barrier to user adoption, I can promise you that. You can send someone in a bee suit if you want to with balloons and hand out chocolates. You're not going to make people use technology. I know we did change management like that for many years. Doesn't work. So the second point that I want to talk about is your citizen developers. Who doesn't quite grasp the idea behind a citizen developer? You can put your hands up if you don't be afraid to ask. You know what developers are, right? Let's get a raise of hands. Who's developers in the room? So that means you can use ones and zeros to build stuff. Is that kind of it? I'm not a developer, by the way. I can't develop like code stuff. Okay, I don't get that. You know, I'm more of a PowerPoint person than I'm a PowerShell person. Okay, that's what I mean. So you've got a PowerPoint tattoo. Okay, I don't have a PowerShell tattoo. I mean, what does that sound? So I consider myself a citizen developer. And I think for years we kind of said, like, nah, that maybe doesn't make me as important, right? Because in IT we kind of thought that it's developers not the important people. That's what makes everything work, right? And it's become so much bigger than that. Microsoft has given us an amazing tool set that adds extra to ordinary and makes everyone extraordinary. That's where citizen developers comes in. It's giving us the ability to build apps and solutions without being a physical developer that writes code, which is unbelievable. If you do not roll out mentorship programs in your company, like little pyramid schemes, where people can learn and share and keep on learning, you will fail. You can't just send them a URL to office.com, people. I don't know who's done that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. People don't learn like that. We have to build those cultures. The product's not going to fix the culture problem. We have people who are going to fix it. So please spend time building those mentorship programs, and that's going to be the toughest thing ever. Working on people is tougher than working with technical stuff, because it's not always clear what we have to do. We don't always have a checklist, right? And people react different to things. Look, Flow also sometimes reacts different. It's not like, but people kind of like, they have their own ideas of how things work. So please, please go back to your companies and help build those citizen developer programs, those superhero programs, those power users. Because that should eventually become about 70 or 80% of your company. Because Microsoft's mission, and it gives me goosebumps when I say it every time, is to enable or empower every person in the world to achieve more. Woo! And that's why we fly people in from overseas so we can get some excitement in the room.
We don't fly people in. Let's just get
yeah, so let me rephrase that. We beg people to fly in from overseas. And they then fly in. So thanks for that. Okay, so please, please empower that. We want to help people achieve more. That's what we want to do. Because we want to make people happy and achieve more in their jobs. Because let me tell you what, if you're unhappy in your job, you're doing something wrong. It's not that there's some jobs that should be unhappy and some jobs are happy. Happiness comes from here, people. You've got to make it happy where you are and it'll just get better. So if you're stuck in a horrible place and you're unhappy, make it better because it's your choice. So help people make happy environments and we'll definitely have better world cultures. So the third thing that I want to share with you, once the Superman moves away, there we go, is that we need to evolve with technology. I mean, you know how crazy technology's gotten in the last couple of years. I mean, this last 10 years or 5 years, it's just been crazy, right? As people evolve, do we now have 4 ears and 6 hands? And do we evolve? So how are you keeping up? Is there anyone in this room who's scared that robots are going to take their jobs? Come on, face it. Is there a fear like that in your company? Is there people that suddenly fear AI and machine learning and stuff and they think like, man, that machine's going to take my job? We need to help them catch up. We need to help them evolve, because if we don't evolve people, we are going to have trouble. Because technology is so far ahead of us and we've not helped our people evolve. They're going to get more and more insecure, more unhappy, slower at what they do every day because we're not helping them evolve. Technology doesn't evolve us, we evolve and then use technology to be better than we were yesterday. Please invest in your people and help them evolve so that we can catch up to the technology that we're already working with. People think company cultures are like change management, right? You're going to go download a PDF, like pay for it, like $750. You download the PDF, 6 checkboxes, you have it signed, boom! You have change management, or you have adoption. That happens. Or governance. Doesn't work like that. Company cultures don't get fixed like that either. You don't fix a company culture by painting the cafeteria red and putting new yellow couches in, by the way. Makes them happy for a little bit, and then that's over. It's short-term happiness when you do physical things to fix cultures. I can promise you that if you invest in your users and we help them evolve and we give them the skills so that they can be better than they were yesterday, they will become happy people, and happiness spreads like wildfires. Happy people create other people that are happy. Where unhappy people makes other people unhappy and they leave companies and they need to be replaced, which is very expensive, right? There's that, I don't know who came up with it. I mean, if it's on Facebook and it's put on someone's face, it's normally their quote. But someone said, what if I train my people and they leave? And then the reply to him was, I'm sure it was Thomas Edison. I mean, but it was just put on, Facebook. I know it was Richard Branson. And then someone replied, but what if I don't train them and they stay? Because that's what we're doing. We're not investing in them and then we're stuck with them. That's the problem. And then when you have to get new skill in from outside, it costs you twice as much because someone else has invested in them. Invest in your people so they stay and they're happy, because happy employees create happy cultures in companies and then they adopt technologies. It's as easy as that. I'm saying as easy as that. It needs some work. Because this is not a cloud technology problem that we have, I can promise you that. We don't have a problem since Office 365 got rolled out. We've always had a problem. At first I thought it was just the company I worked with. And then I thought maybe it's just Joburg. And then I thought, nope, I think it's South Africa. And then I started traveling and was like, nope, we have a problem, it's everyone. Because how does induction work in your company when someone new starts in your company? You hand them a computer and say, there's all the icons on your desktop to go to Office. There's the Outlook icon, and there's the icon to SharePoint. Have a nice day. And then when they log calls, you go, gee, where's these stupid users? I'm so sick and tired of them. Oh, interesting, because I'm sure the people laughing at his home, hasn't it? We do that, because we keep them nice and stupid the way we like them. Because it makes us look fancy pants at conferences, doesn't it? Let me tell you one thing, and that's the last thought I'm going to leave with you before I hand over to Alistair, because I can carry on talking about this all day. This will become a me, people conference, okay? It's not scalable to fix problems. It's not scalable. We deal with too much. The departments and the teams that you work in are most probably half the size of what they used to be, am I right? If not more. You used to have 100 people that did a quarter of the work that you have to do now. How are you staying up to date? No wonder we drink so much in IT. How many of you never ever work after hours? It's not about that. We're not getting through our stuff because we're not evolving. Our work is too much for us. The stress is too much for us. We're fighting with each other. We're going home and fighting with the people that we love because we're not evolving and we're not catching up to what we have to do. Fixing problems is not scalable. You cannot log a call anymore at help desk and they fix your problem for you because that's not scalable. So the last thing I want to tell you, please, we have to start helping people to fix their own problems. That's scalable. And that's it. I'll hand over to Alistair.
So before I use the clicker, how many IT pros in the room? What does the rest of you do? So the rest, you're all end users, business people? Yes? Okay, okay.
Wow.
Yes, this is not going to work.
All 400 level speakers.
All right, so we've only got 3 developers somewhere here. One more in the back. Did you put your hand up as a developer? So you write code. So more business people, end user type people than technology people or IT pros. So you don't work with the back end, you work with the front. Oh. I might have to delete a few slides. So Tracy focuses on the majority of this. How to help you work with the technology that IT just throws at you and says, there's an icon on a desktop. And there's an icon on a desktop, and you need to click it and figure it out. I'm the guy on the back end that has to worry about what Tracy puts on the desktop. And that's typically how we work. For the IT pros in the room, it's always fear. It's fear when companies decide they want to use new technology. Because IT on the back end has to worry about it. What happens if a user clicks here? How many help desk calls are we going to get? Who do I have to train up? What happens if something breaks? Do I have to worry about it? How do I fix it? And that's what happens in the back end, which you don't see, because I can speak to the business users. So that's great. I'm going to take you through the things that we worry about, the things that we need to worry about when we start looking at this new world that we face. Because today, our kids are born with silver iPhones in their hand, not silver screens, right? And the millennials in the room, that's you. So no longer do we have a problem with technology. Technology is ubiquitous. 10 years ago, you'd go up to SharePoint or Nintex and you'd ask them to tell you about the product. Today, when you walk up to an SharePoint or a Nintex, you're more informed than we were 10 years ago. You already know what an Nintex or an SharePoint does, or a SkySync, or a Rencore, and you're actually asking for answers that you've already created questions for. They don't tell you about the product. That's us, right? It's our generation. So when we start talking about moving to the cloud, because that's all the rage, right? Isn't it? For the millennials. And the other millennials. But what do we need to do? And I mean, Warren is not in the room because he never listens to me. Which one? Not you. You listen. You're still okay. The one with art hair is not in the room, so I can say. Warren used to talk about moving to the cloud or hybrid. It's not a good, it's an end state. Because you're going to end with some stuff that's still on-prem. So when we start talking about these things, so moving to the cloud, how do you get to the cloud? Because it's great that we talk about it. Microsoft has got data centers in the country and everyone gets excited about it because Office 365 is all the rage. But organizations today are faced with how do we get there? As much as you go, well, I can log in with my Office 365 account and it's there. But IT people, the people on the back end that make sure that your notebook works, needs to worry about a lot of things. So when we look at the stuff just around moving, there's three words that I use there. Move, how do we get you there? Manage, what happens when you are there? Protect, how do we make sure you don't do stupid things? Can I say stupid?
I said it first.
So what do we have to worry about when we're moving into the cloud? I think a lot of times we think we can literally, oh no, it's just an email address, I've got an Office 365 account, but there's a whole bunch of stuff on it. The first thing is around infrastructure. Because Office 365 is not just your mailbox. And people go, oh no, we've moved to the cloud, we can literally just move the mailbox. There's a whole bunch of applications that come with that bubble, and then part of the Microsoft 365 umbrella is everything else that goes into Azure. So the non-IT pros in the room, find your IT manager and ask him or her to take you to the basement. Because that's where the flashing lights are. And all these little things that look like it's out of a war game. That's infrastructure. And IT has to move that as well. So every time you knock on a door and say, but why don't we have Office 365? Understand it's not just your mailbox. There's a whole bunch of things on the back end that needs to move first before they do that. We have to worry about usage. We have to worry about those 4 developers in the room that create custom code. They have to worry about the customization. We have to worry about your identity so that you don't have to log in with 3 different usernames and passwords for 3 different systems. Because you hate that, and you always forget your password. Exchange is the mail stuff, but there's more to it than just your mailbox. Can you send an email to an external user? How do you send an email internally? Who do we block? You worry about spam because you don't want 200 messages every day in your mailbox. So it's quite an arduous task to just move your mailbox. Where do you store content? I suppose everyone stores it in Dropbox, right? Yeah? Dropbox, everyone has Dropbox. And why do you know that? Because it's shipped with your phone. Google shipped with your phone for the Android users. iCloud for the Apple users. But we're already using cloud services. So what do we do with our file shares that are on-prem? I mean, it's a big question. About 2 years ago, Microsoft started a message saying, consolidate your file shares to OneDrive. Bullshit. You can't take file shares to OneDrive. You can take it to Dropbox, because that's how Dropbox wants it. And Google Drive, because it's not usable. The OneDrive is usable. So understand what happens when you start moving file shares, that H drive, or that home drive that you have, or that S drive. What happens when you actually move it to the cloud? And understand, because I now have to talk to the business people, it's not click a button and go. You complain about your internet at the office, it's slow. I want to see what it's an Apple user on a MacBook, and Siri spoke to Siri, keystroke or something. See what happens when you let developers code on production. Dev on prod, right? And lastly, we talk about voice, because there's some many Skype people in group. Not you. That gentleman over there. Like Caruana said earlier on, Teams is the everything. And Skype is Teams, and everything else is Teams. We were told 2 days ago that Kaizala is our Teams, and that's the world that we live in. So moving voice as well needs to go. And that's just what IT pros need to look at when wanting to give you an Office 365 account. So as much as you're knocking on the door because you want all these cool things that you're going to see today, understand what it takes for an organization to move stuff to the cloud. Now when they're done, we have to worry about managing things, right? And traditionally, this is what your help desk looks like. Some guy drinking coffee and the other guy sleeping. But what does it take once we move? Because the IT people, I've got time. The IT people in the room, the IT pros, always stress about what happens when content moves to the cloud. We'll move infrastructure to the cloud. Will my job all this? I remember, I'm a SharePoint guy. And before the cloud, I used to beat my chest. And for those SharePoint architects in the room, or anyone that's built out a SharePoint farm, there are more virtual machines in that farm. Whoa! I've got a 10-way, 10-server SharePoint farm. I've got indexes across my front ends. They're partitioned. The user profile service is running over there. I've got search on a separate server. And that was us, right? We were great. We were gods. We were gods. That does not exist anymore. So you wake up one morning and you go, shit, man, is my company still going to pay me for doing this? Because that was my rock, right? That was my shit. That was my game. I could build a 10-way farm. Shit. Wow. And now we have the same with Exchange, we have the same with System Center and all the other products on-prem. Now we move to the cloud. I'm not building farms anymore. I'm no longer a farm administrator. And that might mean something for the people that actually do farming in the room. But all these things impact IT pros. And like Tracy says, you have to evolve. Something that IT pros also need to do. You're no longer worrying about the flicking lights in the server room and swapping out hard drives that fall over. You don't do that anymore. It's something you never have to worry about. You need to transfer your skills to what's happening. And just on that, there's new certifications coming, I think, in April. For those that are, for the SharePoint people in the room that did 346 and 347, there's new Azure certifications coming as well. So please have a look when it comes to your certification path, what the new exams are. If you've registered for an old exam, cancel. Just the top. So what do we have to worry about when we start managing? So the first thing we as IT pros worry about is, who do we give access to the content, right? Because everyone's about sharing. You want to share with confidence. That's the message. Is it okay? People stare at screens like that.
I just can't see it. I'm sitting right here. It's my glasses.
So who has access? How do you allow organizations to share with confidence, but also make sure that it's not... Sorry, Warren? Making sure that people have access to the right information at the right time. Because the first person that shares a document with someone outside of the organization that should not get that content, your IT manager is going to switch that shit off. So be wary what you do there. Not some, but something to do for the IT pros in the room is make sure that encryption is switched on by default. There's a few things. It's not switched on by default, so make sure that it's switched on by default. There's a message encryption now for Outlook. Switch that on because it's a tick box. When you start working with SharePoint Online, Teams, Power Apps Flow, OneDrive, or when you SharePoint Online and OneDrive, you can switch on encryption. So do that, even though no one's going to sniff a packet. If anyone sniffs packets except for the guy in the back that spoke to Siri, I'd be worrying about it. Also, from a management perspective, for those IT pros, those system-centered people that worry about managing the desktop, my icons, when you move to the cloud, you start working with stuff like that. So now you've got better tooling to manage your corporate devices. With mobile device management, mobile application management. And part of that is being able to make sure that there's an interesting thing in the cloud, app security tooling for Office 365. In the security, well, it's one of the admin settings. If you've got licensing for it. It's called, there's a policy called impossible travel. It's like, and I love what they're doing in the cloud app security because they use terms like an anomaly has been detected. So for the Trekkies in the room, that's cool, right? Who watches Star Trek? I can't win. Anyway, episode 9 of the new Discovery, they talk about a sequel engine. What power right there. For those that get it. But even in the future, there's still sequel engines.
And it's still causing problems.
Glad this is not a sequel Saturday because I'm so really slow. So you have new tools to manage mobile devices. Now when I talk about mobile devices, that notebook that's running Windows 10, that's on mobile. It's not just an iPad phone. So you get to manage all the devices in your organization, and the tool is quite cool. But with that impossible travel policy, if I log in to my account here, it'll pick up where I am, location-based, right? Not the location-based that you know today. When you enable location-based services and your girlfriend can open up Find My Boyfriend. You know? Oh no, I've just gone for one drink. Right? Yeah. And then you're 40 kilometers away from that bar because you're hanging with your jaws. But it's really about being able to impossible travel. It blocks, if I log in here, it's got my registered IP address, and it will say, this is where you are. If someone is sitting in Cape Town and they log in with my account in Cape Town at the same time, it's called impossible travel. If someone, oh, there's a pretzel.
Red course in
Okay, let's wait while Tracy and Warren. I'm busy now. I'm just going to skip past this. But Being able to manage your desktop more effectively, being able to manage the devices that's in your organization more effectively is something that you are now able to do in the cloud with Office 365 and M365. Moving to the cloud also means that you still have to back up. Just because it's there, it doesn't fall over hardly ever. Doesn't mean that it's going to be there forever. So understand what your backup and archiving requirements are. A lot of customers tell me, but we're in the cloud, why do we have to back up? Well, get your user to delete something and then wait for that to disappear, and then what happens? So understand backup. Backup is critical. Yes, you no longer have a super DLP tag drive that you ship it off the Metrofile. Because let's face it, we only ship tapes to Metrofile. Everyone knows Metrofile because when you want to find something for your auditors, it's generally sitting in a box in Metrofile. In the cloud, same principle applies. You might not necessarily back up to a tape. You might be backing up to cold storage in Azure. You still need to back up. You still need to ensure data loss prevention. And there's much more tooling in the cloud to ensure that. I mean, there's third-party vendors that also provide the necessary tooling to do that because it's not standard out of the box. But in order to appease your auditors, if you come to my session later, it's a shame it's like,
Oh my word!
you stood with a pretzel, shut up. Enjoy my shit. I'll talk about security. So, for the IT pros in the room, and I keep on saying this because there's 7 of them. I'll have maybe 2 of them in my session later. But it's important for business to also understand what it takes to manage when you're in the cloud. Because now you're going to go to OneDrive and you're going to share with this person and it says, no, you can't, and you're going to set it. Or how do I find this file? I can't find this file. You know, Microsoft Search, it doesn't work. Microsoft Search is a new breed for business. Understand what it takes. Also for those IT pros, implement policies in the organization so that it's governed correctly. And once it's there, we have to start. Once it's there, we've got these really cool back-end systems, and I'm going to skip this because there's only 7 people. There's some cool slides there, but yeah, everyone's going to sort of glaze over. Now we've moved everything to the cloud. We're now starting to manage it, make sure that it's backed up, it's archived, people have the right access to everything. But how do we ensure that that guy in the back there that asks Siri to do stuff doesn't deploy a cluster bomb while spoofing your access point that you're logging to, and then sends that bomb to a printer that is just hacked? And are you waving or are you telling me that's 10 minutes?
Well, it's 9 now.
So, keep on doing the IT pros. So the business people you need to worry about, it's not the IT. So how do we go about protecting things in the background? Right? So the first thing, you need to know that just because you've got everything encrypted does not mean that the content is protected. It's very important. A lot of times I've seen people confuse encryption with protection. 2 totally different things inside of Office 365 or also Microsoft 365. And Microsoft's got a suite of products called Microsoft Information Protection, and you can hear about that in my session later, Tracy. So when we talk about how do you protect, because you moved, now you got the management policies in, and now you need to protect what's in the cloud. How do you make sure that you don't get hacked? Because even if you're in the cloud, you can still get hacked. So understand that. People can get into your AD. It's usually by a phishing attack or something. And, oh, Grace has sent me an email. Click on the link. Don't trust anyone, because obviously she's been hacked. So understand what's required from a security perspective. And what's nice about the tooling in the cloud, we can now create one policy, and it can be managed across multiple devices, multiple applications. And just because you have encryption enabled and you've got some cool policies does not mean that there is a measure of compliance in your organization. How many people deal with auditors? Do you have auditors come in, right? There's some cool stuff around e-discovery and litigation. When you can do what is it called, custodian management, so you don't have to pay a lawyer to sift through everything around a bail loss provision. Also, when people talk about compliance in Office 365, they mean a few things. Now, Office 365 is compliant. When I say compliant, it adheres to the SEC rules and statutory regulations in country. You can actually have a look at it. From an ISO perspective, has anyone gone to Service Trust Portal? No? Has anyone done, put your hand down. So you did a session about this, so you should know about it. Right? So anyone looked at the secure score? Yes. Yeah? Okay, so there's a few people.
Alistair, ban all countries or ban your own country?
Well, we South Africa, so I don't know how to apply. So when you look at the applications, certain levels of trust and various levels of compliance. One, the applications inside of Office 365 and here specifically. ISO, HIPAA, FedRAMP, and those things. I don't think the ECT Act. How it applies to South Africa is important. But the applications are compliant. It's the first thing. Power Apps is compliant. Flow is compliant. Office Pro Plus is compliant. And all of those things. That's the first level. Then you need data compliance. Now, how do you make sure that the data you store there, it's got referential integrity? And that's got a lot to do with governance. And then we talk about making sure that you are compliant as an organization. So anyone got to the compliance manager for Office 365? Okay. There's an entire portal that has various regulations, like the ISOs, like the GDPRs, because we're all excited about people in the EU, right? Any European citizens here? Yes, we don't care. Hotels do. I mean, the GDPR has just lit up all the data protection stuff across the planet. Compliance Manager allows you to look at a certain amount of controls where Microsoft is compliant to GDPR or ISO or pick one, FedRAMP, all of those things. NIST is an important one for any power regulators, nuclear regulators in the room. And it's tooling to help you be compliant so that when your auditors come in, they want you to make sure that you're ISO 27001 compliant. There's specific things that the Compliance Manager allows you to do. It's a task management system to make sure you go do this and manage that. But have a look at Compliance Manager. So, that don't matter because there's only a few items closed. Okay. So once you've gone through all of these things for the item closed in the room, one size does not fit all. So rinse and repeat. Like a closed user group, deploy some stuff to the cloud, experience, get them to experience and understand what you need from training, user adoption, all of that. Don't just, and where's Tracy? Don't just switch on everything. Hey, girl. Start small. Have a look at your remediation policy. What do you need to change? And carry on. And then last, if you look at these caps, okay, it's got a new SharePoint logo, it's got the Outlook logo, it's got the Yammer logo, soy. Anyone want to take a guess at what soy means? And I didn't say soybeans. SharePoint, Yammer. So that's yeah, you're right, but you can't. So soy actually means, and I found out this morning, in Spanish it means I am. The technology is not going to work without the people in the room. So I am wanting to do stuff. So start with I am. How can you add value? You have the text there. For the YouTubers in the room, you probably spend 47 hours watching some guy talk about like unbox it. So we do. And that's how we learn today. He's done it. He's like 19. But the sub 25-year-olds, there's a lot of resources on YouTube and the way you learn. So start with I am, because you make the technology possible, not the other way around. Don't expect IT to help you. They don't understand it. They don't, let's face it. They're there for enablement only. So I am going to make technology work. You carry on with that message. We talk about meaning of Ubuntu, running through sharing, and that's it. And my new word for today is soy, which is I am. I think that's it. We're almost at the top. This doesn't work, by the way, so don't evaluate.
It does work. What do you mean it doesn't work?
I don't want evaluations.
Oh, well, he does. If you've got an Apple, then of course iPhone will just scan it if you do evals. If you don't have and it doesn't scan it with the camera, then just get a QR scanner. But that's for the sessions, by the way. If I can add something to what he said, because we're absolute opposite. We're like the yin yang of Office 365, okay? He's straight. I put things on, I scare people like him who goes and put it off. Okay, so let me tell you what. Please do me one favor though. Because I do agree, don't just go crazy. But please remember that you bought the license into technology that's agile. Agile means it changes every day. Agile means that we get new features. Agile means that sometimes those new features don't work perfect. Okay, I just want to say that.
5 stars.
Thank you. I just want to say, please, don't keep things switched off until you think you're going to be okay with it, because you won't. That's what you did in the past. Roll those apps out, roll those features out, get people used to it, start using the magic. Don't wait for things to get perfect, because it won't. Thank you.
All right, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you for listening to me, and we'll see you around the day. We've got 15 minutes now before we
Well done, Al.
Nick.
I was going to ask the same thing, but I'll be
Oh, are you good? Are you sure?
Yeah. There should be something here, eh?